What I really want you to know is...
What I really want you to know is...
What I really want you to know is...
What I really want you to know is... What I really want you to know is...
What I really want you to know is...
What I really want you to know is...
What I really want you to know is...
Hey kid, never stop running. Breakbeat, a dream that's your mission.
What I really want you to know is that genderqueer is real.
This boy body.
This young, not a girl, not a boy body.
This polyamorous, radical, non-binary body.
This many people, fluid body.
That loves.
That can be touched.
That can run, jump, hit, play friggin' Quidditch.
I changed. I grew my hair out, lost some weight, wore girl clothes, and suddenly people, my mother, my friends, they're telling me that I'm beautiful and sexy. And I thought I wanted that.
I couldn't decide whether to have top surgery. I mean, it was covered by my insurance and my breasts were huge. D-cup, got in the way of everything and made me feel way too female. But then I got sober and thought maybe I hated my body because of what had been done to me. And top surgery wasn't what I needed. I ended up getting a breast reduction instead of a mastectomy.
It took me until this past March to realize I wasn't cis. I had always prided myself on my hair. It was curly and full and beautiful and keeping me from realizing who I really was.
I cut my hair, gained some weight back, went back to boy clothes, and the binge eating stopped. The needing to be stoned, needing to be asexual. With a little therapy, that stopped.
I started realizing that feeling in my stomach when I was sitting at the drum kit in 6th, 7th, 8th grade, knowing that everybody around me was looking at me and seeing me as a woman. I realized that was dysphoria.
I started asking how I might touch and be touched that matched this queer body, these queer appetites.
I started buying binders. I started shopping in the male section. Bit by bit, I am starting to feel more like me.
I love my chest. It's easier to be sober when you're yourself.
Fluid. A name for who I am.
So scary.
So impossible, I thought, to find
Someone to come home to.
New day, sky
I talked to my kids about your proposal.
And?
They're in favor.
awesome.
But the teenagers need a little more time.
Okay.
are you doing well?
We met at a potluck. 17 lesbians and Dare. I was hitting the Bloody Marys thinking speed dating might be better than a meetup with a bunch of middle-aged gay women. And then Dare walked in. Everyone else faded into the walls. I was high enough to just walk up and stand there like an idiot. And they said,
I'm multiple and gender fluid and a therapist. And if that's too much for you, just say so.
and I said, you look kind. And they said,
That's the best pickup line I've ever heard in my life.
and then we both started to laugh really hard. We didn't need to say anything else. Dare tilted their head and we walked out the front door.
I waved to the woman who was hosting the thing because she was a good friend, and she winked at me.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Anyhow, I thought maybe we were just gonna go somewhere and have sex, which made me so nervous I started to sweat. You kind of grinned and then asked me how I'd ended up the one non-binary person at the potluck. I was still drinking then, and I barely let myself think about non-binary anything. Dare said,
So you hit the Bloody Marys because 6 people fucked up your pronouns in the first 30 minutes?
and I said, what pronouns? And they put a hand on my arm and said,
Maybe you need a little help.
no U-Haul for Dare. No first date sex. Nothing. Until they knew I was okay. My partners before you were straight. When I wanted commitment, they yelled. Won through things. My things.
I don't know why Z is doing this at the last minute. Maybe Z's the one who doesn't want to get married. I mean, committed, whatever. Maybe this is some passive-aggressive commitment sabotage, typical Z. I'm totally fine and rational. You're just triggered. Bullshit.
Uh-huh.
This is the first fight we had that didn't end in sex. Does that mean it's over? It could be over. I don't have the best track record, you know.
Uh-huh.
It's just I love Z. I love Xander. I love the ways he thinks and that they can express what they say. And I love that Z doesn't give a shit what people think. And where did Z get that confidence? I mean, you don't have it.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. I just mean...
My therapist says that Xander is the resilient child. And I'm like, how is that possible? I raised Zier and I'm neurosis personified.
You're not that neurotic.
Sure I am. Wait. You love my sibling and you want me to talk to Zier. And I've had a lot of good it'll do, but Xander!
What? Oh.
I am not a couples therapist.
Oh, shit.
You two better get it together. I am spending a lot of money in therapy so I don't kill someone at your wedding. As the only single person here, since neither of you has officially ended your non-engagement or notified anyone of canceling your non-wedding, I suggest you do the whole thing in goth. I know I, for one, would be much more comfortable.
Sophia, did you tell her anything?
Nothing.
You mentioned sex, didn't you?
I am fine with sex. And now that I'm in therapy, I might have some of my very own. With my very own consent.
Melanie?
You two better get it together. You don't know how lucky you are.
Sophia, I am perfectly happy to have a non-wedding and raise non-children, no strings attached, except that I want to know you every day of my life.
Isn't that you saying you want to have it all, but with different words?
Maybe?
That's a big compromise for Xander.
Yeah, see?
Yes, Xander, I do see. But when it comes to fake compromises, I don't play.
Hey kid,